welcome. Welcome back. My name is Melissa. I will be your cosmic tour guide today. And we've got a little bit of channeling to do, a little quick channeling with Elvis Presley. He's saying greetings, everyone. He's been pushing me all week, that energy. Remember the energy, Elvis energy is the bandwidth energy of the heavens of God source that makes the whole. Kind of like the rainbow bridge and the different colors of the rainbow make a whole. So Elvis has been pushing me all week, and I was hearing songs out of nowhere in restaurants. It was Elvis. Elvis was everywhere, and I was thinking, really? So he's saying greetings, everybody, and he's saying he's bringing God to our soul song, and he has some messages and some truth to share, and he says it's time. I remember over the last year, quite a few years, people have asked me to channel Elvis, and he said no. So that doesn't happen very often. But he was saying it was a couple of different people that wanted to take from us, from the collective, from me, from you, take our soul song, to take our essence, take our light. And he says, I just wasn't going to talk to that. That's not in the rules or the divine order of God. And so it makes me laugh now, and I'm delighted and honored to be able to bring a little bit of Elvis wisdom from the heavens for us. So I pulled the Elvis card out of my musical oracle deck that I use. Sometimes that is just fun. And I forgot he's the king. So one of his messages is that you are the one. I keep saying this is in the theme of what I'm supposed to share with the collective lately, and he's saying you're the king. So it's a different way of saying you're the one. And he says on this card, there's quotes that Elvis has said, or supposedly, never let reality stand in your way, and always keep heaven on speed dial. Perfect. So when he says, over the years, he says, just know that there's just your soul song, keep your soul song. It's almost like anchored or balanced in the divine. And he says, there's a new tune coming out for each one of you, and it'll take each one of us our own paths, our own ways, our own timing to unfold our new soul tune. He's saying there's a celebration going on in the heavens, and he's saying Mama is praying for us, and our new soul songs are being almost like released. A new release, our new album, our platinum album is out, and no one can take that. They'll keep trying, but no one can take it. He says in his lifetime he had, just like all of us, each one of us, distortion that was hard for him, confusions, addictions, people that were not honest or true. And he says it was hard to be king, but he in the highest good of God remained the benevolent archetype, the king of honesty and integrity to the best of his ability. I don't know what it would be like to be like part of his family, or to be famous like that, but he was saying it was hard, and some of the distractions and the distortions just kept coming at him. And he said, I just was truly, yes, I had to wear awesome starseed outfits. Like, you remember the white Elvis thing, and it's almost like the wings. And he says it was magical, and I loved to share my offering to this world. They pushed him too hard, sometimes too hard. He did too much, but he loved to share his voice and his expression, his soul song, with the world. And he's glad that it helped some of us, or nurtured some of us, or still does. And he says, in this, your own soul song, is going to unfold in a new way. Perhaps we're tuning up, as I always say, um, into the correct key. And he says, I will bring you a key today of honor and dignity, and keep realigning, whatever ways that means. Keep praying, keep aligning. He says, Mama's praying for us all. Mama's praying. And he says, your prayers are heard, and they will be answered in different ways. And he says, yeah, I'm the starseed too. So some of us are taller, shorter. He's saying thick, thin, Kashmir when he got real chubby. We didn't care. He's our king. And he says that's the way it was supposed to be. There was distortion, and it was hard to evade some of the distortion that was being imprinted into humanity, and that includes him and his walk. And he loves all of his family and friends and loved ones. And as he pulled away in his lifetime, he says, I always had a wish. I didn't understand how to, but to respect the feminine, the divine feminine in others, and follow the balance of, it's almost like his religious background and upbringing. And he says that is kind of a key right now to honor one another and live in that golden rule. And he says that helps, that key helps us stay in key, stay in tune. So Elvis Presley, everybody, he's saying, we all came here, and in our soul tunes, we will be recognizing how to become the kings and queens that we came here to be in this physical life as we ascend and keep awakening. And he says it's just been so hard. Humanity was scrunched. And he says as the awakenings keep going, there's a celebration going on for you, for your soul song. You are the one. You are the king. You are the queen of your own truth. He's saying, remember, let that living water of God, let that living water of God move through you like a song. And in that, your own frequency can be expressed as we are clearing away these distorted pieces in all of us. And he says these layers and layers and layers in humanity and the earth and the universe. And he said, again, there's a celebration going on because we've had a big advancement in our soul songs being able to be released. And he says, like a new album being released. And he says, think about it. The air is fresher. Our emotions are fresher after this. As we keep walking forward, it'll be hard to open our eyes to what's happened to each one of us, like the unfairness, the injustice. Some of us have been used, hunted, targeted so badly, and we knew it, and we had to keep going. And he's saying that's what I did, and I want everyone who has lost anyone, family, friends, children, loved ones. Remember, Elvis grew up in a really religious family, and he was a twin, and his brother passed at birth, I believe. And so they always mourned the loss of his twin. And he says, many of you are becoming, remember your divine starseed chosen selves. Not that you were better than anyone, just a little bit more awakened and aligned in the divine and out of the matrix. That's what that means. And he says, I was, a starseed, and I showed, direction, and it was lavish and luxurious, and it just was hard. And he said, I loved deeply and truly, and I didn't know how to treat the king and queen within me and my people sometimes, just like you haven't. But now it's time in our soul song. And, don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Some of those words will come back around for us to be our truths. And we will really, he's really pushing this. We will find our soul tribe, soul families, our purposes and passions that we're always meant to be, even though others try to block us, take it away, keep us from that, saying they thought they knew that they should have it, or they thought they knew that they should have our money or our job or our person, our soul mates, our soul flames, our twin flames, our star seed soul flames. And he says, being a star seed leader, face of, Billboard, the king, he said, I just want to remind you that that's not the way it goes. That's not the way of God. And he says, remember, there's the old belief systems, the foolish, old, heavy belief systems are releasing, and crystal clear. You'll have clarity coming up. Many of you are going to be like going back to your passions and purposes that you thought, I can't do that. Like I've got to slave and go to work. I'm just seeing Prince, and I don't know if you remember when he had the word slave written on his face, and there are, photographs of that where he was saying he was oppressed, he was caged in by the lower energies that controlled him, the manipulators, the con artists, the stealers, which ran things, and he was just pointing them out. And he says, so some of us rock stars have been certainly sacrificed. And he says, so that is still happening quite in big ways. However, we are unplugging and demagnetizing that and flipping the inverted matrix back up. And that would be in heaven, as above, so below, heaven on earth. Not the inverted matrix. It seems like we're doing the right thing, but it's really wrong. And he says, so that's what we're talking about. Elvis continues to talk. Prince steps back. And he says, in a way, it's been too hard for all of us to know how much we have been enslaved. And now is a big step. We have much more to go, many, many more steps. But it's been a big step to being free, and being able to release the beginning notes of our soul songs. I'm going to pull Secret Language of Light. He says, remember, star seeds, you are loved. And for many of us, he says, some of us were separate, and we hurt our families, we hurt our partners, we hurt our friends, we hurt our mates. And he says it is a good time to ask for forgiveness, as well as send out a wave of forgiveness and release, so that there's no distortion between any of you. And he says, you want to pray with me? And he's saying we can ask if there's anybody anywhere throughout time that we have harmed or entangled in any form of entanglement or distorted darkness, and treated people badly, purposely, not purposely, seen and unseen ways. If we have committed crimes against another human being in other ways, it's a good time to ask. That could even be just hurting someone's feelings, or flipping them off behind their back, or and it could just be like stealing a whole bunch of money, like the whole record label stealing everything you ever had. And he says, any level, anyway, it's a good time for us to ask God's source and all of our guides and guardian angels to go ahead of us and clear our paths, and send back any pieces of others throughout time and any timelines that we have harmed. So it's almost like fragmented pieces of all of us. So if someone has harmed us, they sometimes take a piece of us. Or if we have harmed another, we sometimes take a piece of them. And so there's these cross wires and entanglements. And he's saying it's a really good time to send out prayers of forgiveness for others. We cannot force someone to forgive us or see things our way, and we should never really try to do that. But he's saying, let's pray that God, Most High Source, Jesus Christ, if you would like, or if, let's just say you're Muslim, your prayers, native backgrounds, Great Spirit, whatever words you use in the pure divine line about God, he's saying is all valid and true and exactly right. And he's saying, let's together, all of us starseeds, all of us divine humans, all of us chosen, that chose the light of God, send out forgiveness and ask forgiveness of our soul songs of the past. And sometimes they might have been a little flat, our soul songs. Sometimes they might have been a little bit angry. Sometimes they might have been for the wrong person. We thought they were the better person, the prettier person, the richer person, the taller person, whatever it is. But we ask that those soul fragments and entanglements be cleansed, cleared, and our teams, our guides, our guardian angels got the hand of God. Perfect divine will, divine order, sweeps our path clean, cleanses us, and helps us move forward in our new soul song. So here's what I'm getting. There is only light. Look at that soul song. Look at that balance. Look at the masculine and feminine, the king and the queen, all in order. And he says, look at that cosmic heart. That's what this is. And it's also your heart. And so our soul songs are coming together with our partners, not in crime, but partners of love, true loves and family connection and balancing communication and loves, true loves of all lifetimes here on earth. And that's what we could never get to all the way. There was always something. There was always, a bill to worry about. There was always some war going on and some belief system that kept us from liking the one that now we're seeing is the beautiful one. So that's Prince is stepping in. So there's his song that he has called Beautiful One. So I'm hearing that very strongly. I wish I did. I'm doing some of these in the car because not only am I on location, but I want to be out in the sun. I love to be out. And some of my adventures are really simple. I don't care if I'm cute. I don't care if I'm on time. I don't care. But I want to be with the earth. And so that's why I'm overly in the car extra. Here he is. Wasn't expecting Prince. He says Starseeds soul songs. He's not yelling as much as I am. His voice is gentle and good. He is on fire though. So I've got Elvis and Prince. Elvis Presley, Prince, saying, open up your eyes. Doesn't matter what's been before. The beautiful ones, including you, looking in the mirror, you will recognize your royalty and your soul song, the new chapter, the new album, soul song for this time period. Many of you are going to find new passions. It's going to be not what others thought. Some of the darker energies, the tricksters, the magicians, the darker people of the past could look into you, see your true bright destiny, and they wanted to take it. They wanted to hurt you. And so some of those destinies that were written, soul contracts, destinies, soul songs, might be tweaked a little bit. We might go back into the, like a little bit of like redos. And you are being matched with your true divine soul family and your management teams, your friendship groups, your teams, heaven seen and unseen, the heavenly ones unseen, and here on earth, the ones who have been also just courageously and strongly going through their own awakenings. We get to realign, so a whole bunch of us get to reconcile with our starseed friends, family, loved ones here on earth. And some of us have some new assignments, and we always knew this, so that the past eras and phases couldn't see it and try to block us. But we get to be reconciled with some of our true, kind of like bandmates that we were supposed to have. So Elvis says, I just want you to know your soul song is right on track, being written, released in perfect days. And Prince is saying, mm-hmm. And he's saying, put a little passion into that. He's sprinkling a little color, passion, a little purple in, and a little bit of opening with our crown chakra. So, on Prince's card, I love Prince. He's my favorite. He's saying, do what you damn well like, but always do it to the utmost. Be you. Kings and queens, you. Never lose touch with your colorful side. Hello. He's sprinkling a little bit of color, a little bit of magical color. Your dream home lies outside of time. Many of us, what they're saying together is that part of our soul song are kingdom homes. I always say I'm trying to go home for like 30 years. People don't quite understand what I'm saying, nor did I all the time. But we yearn for home inside, right? So our true home, our true kingdom home, our true home in the multi-dimensions, in God's hands, in God, us, connected, a spark, a piece, a note of God, tone of God. We sort of belong outside of the crunchy earth, the dusty earth part. However, here on earth is where we get to present this and start building this together for the first time in hundreds of thousands of years. And so even though our kingdom home and sometimes our kingdom families exist outside of time and space that we know, it is going to be built. The new soul songs are building that here on the earth plane, the physical, for all of us. So expect some of those things to unfold. They love us. I'm going to pull one of the starseed cards if there's anything that we can know that'll help us, because both of these guys are saying, yeah, we're the starseeds, we're different frequencies, but know each other, and they're the best at what they're the best. They're the kings of their times and places, and they came here in part, they were tortured, called names, and both had pain, big pain, mental, emotional pain, and come up against big, dark targeting. But they are the starseed leaders and the kings that are gave us steps on our paths to be the kings and queens in this time period. And we thank them. My mom used to call me Free Spirit all the time. Free Spirit. So they're giving you this soul song title, Free Spirit. To be a free spirit is to float without walls. There's no need to shut down, even though we've all been hurt. It's time to trust again. And we'll see. We have good discernment, all of us. But they're saying, starseed free spirits, to be a free spirit is to float without walls, to fly without judgment, and to love without conditions. This part of our soul song, part of the music in us, who we are, part of our music is that unconditional love. And he says, that's what Mom taught me. And he's talking about his mother, of course, but he's also talking about the divine feminine aspect of God that is only unconditional love. And he says, you'll see it in the world coming up. So they're saying, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Is Elvis, of course. And Prince is nodding. And I'm just saying, thank you. I'm honored. This is fun. Super weird. Not what I was expecting. And he's saying to all of you, do not try to take the lower matrix into the new earth energy, as we could call it, into the days ahead. So don't be cruel to a heart that's true. And his song, I really like this one, called Superstitious. And he says, how can we balance this out so that we are not suspicious of one another and be honest and in dignity and integrity? In my experience, that's like, I have not had anyone around me at all that has that going on except a friend or two. And I am grateful to them. I miss them a lot. However, all of us to the best of our ability, all of us starseeds, true light, try to stand in our integrity and dignity, and we get to like connect with others, kindred souls, kindred songs. So let's rock and roll. And I say thank you, and they say thank you, and we'll be seeing you. Thank you all. Many blessings. Thank you all for the support. Information down in the box if you want a session, a reading, or a, energy healing, frequency healing stuff. Thank you all so much.